Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, February 20th, and I just wanted to get back to the coronavirus. I haven't touched on this in a few days, so I had to get back and see what's been going on with it lately. So take a look at the numbers real quick. You know how we always do it. You see here on the screen, 75,752 cases, 2,130 deaths, and 16,557 recovered. When I did a video about 4 days ago, the total number of cases was about 67,000, and I think the deaths were about 1,800 at that time. But let's take a look at the active cases here. You can see the percentages on the screen. The serious or critical number versus the number of currently infected patients, you see that's at 21% here. And that's a number I look at, just something I think about when I'm thinking about what the numbers are going to come out looking like long term. So the number of serious or critical cases is what I'm always looking at. You take a look here at the number of closed cases, and that's something that looks like it's changed pretty drastically since I last looked. 2,130 deaths out of 18,687 cases that have had a resolution, or an outcome they say here, and that's 11% have resulted in deaths, and that's actually down. It's about 16% the last time I had taken a look 4 days ago. So again, it'll be interesting to see where the numbers fall in the end when everything's said and done with this. Since it's been several days since I did an update, I wanted to take a look at the numbers here real quick by country. Now it looks like yesterday China had 393 new cases. The last time I had looked, they were getting about 2,500, 3,000 cases per day. So 393 cases new today and 115 deaths. So the death total is still pretty high, but the number of cases seems to be slowing, which is, again, like I was saying in these videos, you kind of look for any kind of silver lining you can find in this. And when you see the disease start to slow, if this continues, if this pace of slowing keeps up, then that's definitely a good thing. Those serious or critical condition cases, those will obviously still be out there, and we'll need to look at the resolution, either positive or negative on that, but you definitely want to see the number of new cases slowing down. So interesting, it looks like they broke the Diamond Princess out separately, so 621 cases here. It looked like before they were trying to add the totals into that of the individual countries, so that was my theory anyway, but it looks like it's separated here, 621 total cases, 2 total deaths which are new today, and then 17 total recovered. From what I had read elsewhere, they were finally letting a lot of people off, letting them out of quarantine, those individuals that weren't testing positive. So my feeling is that they just put this here now because they can finally get a handle on what the numbers are actually looking like. So let's take a look at the others. South Korea, 46 cases today, so they moved up into third, I guess you would say, or maybe second country-wise. And Japan, 87, 3 new cases. Taiwan, a new case. Another article I read was talking about the fears of an outbreak in Japan. So when I had read that, I expected there to be a lot more than 87 cases. So let's shift away from this and we'll get into some different kind of stuff, some economic numbers here real quick. This is the article I was talking about. It's a CNN article. I archived it just like I do with everything I do. I love the archives. I use a site called Archive Today, and when I do the archive, it cuts out a lot of the junk, like the ads and stuff you'll see along the side. So if you guys ever want to just read the article itself and not see all the junk along the side, the other stories, the ads and stuff like that, just check out whatever article you have and then run it through Archive Today if you're looking at something else on your own. So then, like I said, you can get rid of all the junk on the side. But anyway, let's go ahead and read here. So, economic woes. Japan is likely facing a recession as the coronavirus compounds existing problems with the country's economy. I would imagine that was supposed to say within the country's economy, but what can you do? It's CNN, I guess. In China, while the worst of the virus is hopefully past, the economic cost has yet to be fully realized, and there are fears that it could continue to grow and have knock-on ramifications for the global economy. China's central bank promised more support Wednesday for companies, including lowering lending rates, increased credit support, and providing medium and long-term loans. The People's Bank of China said the epidemic has had some impact on the Chinese economy, but the shock will be short-lived and will not change the country's sound economic fundamentals. Like I always say, the cynical side of things is, of course, it's the CCP. What would they really admit? Culturally being what it is over there, what would they really say? Our economy's going in the tank and all of this and that. But the thing about issues like this that arise is, even if it's not true what they're saying, you still have to put on that public face. The worst thing that can happen in any of these situations is fear. It's something that results in the public having fear or losing confidence in their government or their central bank or their monetary system or anything like that. So I definitely get why they want to put a positive spin on things. I'm not necessarily saying that I believe it, because, again, it's China, so you definitely take that with a grain of salt. It's like watching CNN. Like I said, you can listen to it, but definitely think for yourself when it comes to these kind of things here. Other outlooks are not so rosy. Around a third of 1,000 small and medium-sized companies surveyed by academics from Tsinghua University and Peking University last week said they could only survive for a month with the cash they have on hand. Smaller companies account for around 60% of China's GDP and employ a massive 80% of all workers, according to government statistics published last September. So that's pretty huge. 60% of their total GDP and 80% of their workforce is employed by these small and medium-sized companies. So that's definitely something that doesn't seem to jibe with the rhetoric coming out of the upper echelons of the leadership in the CCP and their central bank and everything like that. I like that they give a comparison contrast in the article talking about what the central bank is saying versus what small and medium-sized businesses are saying. So definitely love hearing both sides of things here. It says here, the coronavirus could be the straw that breaks the camel's back, wrote Zhao Jian, director of Shandong province-based Atlantis Research Institute, in a research note earlier this month. He warned that if the outbreak doesn't end soon, unemployment will rise as businesses shut down, a problem Beijing has been fighting hard to prevent this year. Job losses could spur a tide of housing foreclosures, Zhao added, compounding the country's economic woes. Even as the country starts to get back to work, problems remain for smaller firms. According to the state-backed Global Times, Chinese factories and businesses trying to resume operations this week have been faced with tremendous risks and challenges, from lengthy applications to tough restrictions and shortages in cash, labor, and supplies. Companies have reported having to submit up to 21 separate documents, including a 15-page application form, emergency plans, and various other letters of commitment to local officials. A screenshot of an application from a company in Sichuan province went viral on social media this week. A single application to resume operation require a total of 9 stamps from various county and provincial officials. Fun, fun, fun. We love the red tape, baby. That's how we do it here in the US as well. We love the red tape. These are unintended consequences of the battle against the epidemic. The restricted measure put in place to stop the virus have also restricted companies from resuming production. Tan Yun, director of the China Society of Macroeconomics Research Center, told the Global Times, in some places, officials have taken the battle to a whole new unnecessary level. Well said, Mr. Yun. Well said. And I'm assuming that's a Mr. I don't know. It could be a Mrs. But again, an unnecessary level. So we've read it here. We've seen the numbers. And that's going to be the thing that I find interesting, just being an individual who has a degree in finance and an advanced degree in finance and business admin as well, is just the whole economic side and what kind of information we really get out of this. Are we really going to get accurate numbers from China? I don't know. I mean, obviously the way they can work their economy, we're going to use the word work as opposed to manipulate. But the way they can work their economy is different than the way we would do it here in the West, for instance, or more advanced nations in terms of like the transparency and everything like that, even if you take into consideration countries in Europe. Here, North America, Canada, maybe Mexico even, more likely to report numbers far more accurately because the government doesn't have as much of an ability to kind of dictate the way the numbers come out like they do in China. So, and that's what I always say about countries that have a communist type system, is the numbers are whatever they say they are. The truth is whatever they say it is. It's just the way it works there. And in some ways that actually works pretty good. Some ways it doesn't. In this case, maybe it'll turn out working good because they can manipulate the way the information comes out to their people, which actually could work to their advantage. As I said, it could help potentially slow the fears of kind of like the global economy, because, you know, nowadays everything's really kind of tied together, and China, the US, huge catalysts. So if something goes wrong there or here, for instance, definitely has a ripple effect on the rest of the world. So again, the fact that they can control the way information is released with this and with the coronavirus as well, it could have a positive impact. I know it sounds ridiculous to think about that, but just think about the way in which fears can be kind of quashed. And again, that could be the worst thing that could happen in a situation like this. Say the numbers were really 200,000 were dead right now. How do you think the people would be reacting if they knew that it was that? If the world knew it was that? and thousands of people were dropping dead every day, you know that there'd be a run on food everywhere. The whole stock market, theirs, ours, everything would be going to shh. You know that, right? So again, in some ways it can be positive, and I'm just trying to look at it like that. But again, I mean, obviously we love transparency. We'd really like to know, as with the rest of the world, how this is really impacting China. The markets will react a certain way to certain information and this and that. Transparency is always best when you're dealing with that, but sometimes there can be certain situations where controlling the way information is disseminated can actually help calm a situation, even if later we find out that it wasn't accurate. But that's a video for today. So what do you guys think of that? What do you think of the whole economic side and what I'm talking about in terms of like the fears and a country's ability to maybe kind of calm things when they control the entire media? Does that make sense to you guys? I mean, is that something that's positive, or do we just want the whole story? Do we need the transparency? So thanks as always for watching, everybody. Take care and have a good day.